Hello everybody, and this is me, the Hub Critic, back again, empathetically with another video, and this time we are doing NXT Takeover Dallas in Texas, live in Dallas, Texas, tonight at 9:30 PM or 6:30 PM Eastern Time. I know what time it's going to be for me. Probably won't watch it live because, hey, yeah, probably won't be watching it live. But the actual show starts at 10 there, you can see there. But anyways, we're going to go into the predictions for the show. I'm going to go through each and every match, and then we can do our review tomorrow, I'm guessing. Around tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what time it will be. But basically, yeah, guys, this is going to be an exciting one to look at. Every single match on the card. I think there's 4 matches or 5 matches on the card, I believe. So, yeah. The pre-show, no idea. I think the pre-show is a match. I could be wrong though. So our first match I'm going to talk about, it's Aries versus Baron Corbin. This is probably going to be the first match on. I don't know, it's probably the least hyped up match, I'm guessing, because obviously it's not the biggest match, is it? Aries, who came into the company, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. Again, I'm not a bit hazy on this, but yeah, I'm just enjoying him at the moment because I haven't seen him before, but I've heard great things about him. I've probably spotted over him in TNA a couple of times here and there, so I mean, it's not like I'm totally lost when I see him. But basically, this is a guy who has worked pretty hard to get here, like all NXT wrestlers, but he definitely has a bit of surrounding him because he's got a bit of fighting to do in this company, hasn't he? I mean, you see him come in and put himself up against Baron Corbin, and this is a guy who can do a lot. So, I mean, the Lone Wolf has been apparently furious since January. And, you know, a controversial #1 contenders triple threat match ensued afterwards. Honestly, in this one, I don't know who I can see going up in this one. I would probably go on and say this has got to be Aries' win. Obviously, Corbin attacked Aries. We saw that earlier in a video package, and we know that there must be some sort of payback coming on from that. All in all, I can see Baron Corbin is a guy who will have to contend with a 15-year veteran. You have to remember that. A 15-year veteran who's fought some of the best in the business, including Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, and also Samoa Joe. So, he's defeated these people as well, and he has a great veteran, should I say, career behind him already. So, I mean, he's got a great lineage here that he can take upon and use against Baron Corbin in a very, very vicious style. I'm not sure on his wrestling style or his wrestling, moves or whatever he can do in the ring. I don't know how big he is, but I'm guessing this guy can work anybody. I'm just hearing about some of his wrestling history there. I mean, yeah, you can pretty much put a stamp on it and say this guy has got that victory in mind. Baron Corbin is a guy who, in my memory, hasn't performed too great at the pay-per-view side of things. Yes, on the exhibitions he has his quick wins here and there. When he's in a main event, he obviously has a long 5-minute match. Wouldn't know. For me, he's not used to his longer matches, and usually comes up short in a lot of them I've seen of him. Like, I probably think he's probably drawn 50% when I've seen him, but a lot of the times, I don't know if he can contend with those longer matches, and I've always said that's a sticking point for him, so that's definitely for me, that's one of the points I have to take away from it. Can he contend with the longer matches? And I think Aries can definitely draw him out. I think that's one of his big weaknesses, his obvious weaknesses, so it's somewhere where I'm thinking, hey, in this case, yeah, Aries comes up trumps. So that's my prediction for that first match. So obviously comment below, guys, what you think on any of these matches as they come through. Our second match is Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and this is a packed card, I gotta say. Probably one of the most packed cards of the night. When you got like this not even being a big match on the card. So that's pretty crazy. In all, isn't it? So yeah, let's talk about this one. It's a pretty big one. Shinsuke Nakamura arrived in the company, was it I want to say, yeah, I want to say less than a month ago. Obviously, we heard about this news a while. This guy came in and completely shocked the world. He had a little video going on this outside, where Sami Zayn was, and yeah, we could see him as Sami Zayn was in the ring, and he was telling us that he's basically the finest competitor out there. Zayn narrowly lost an hour-long 2 out of 3 falls instant classic against Samoa Joe to decide who was the NXT champion. Finn Balor's next challenger, obviously that being Samoa Joe. And in making the bout official, Real obliged not only dream matchmakers around the globe, but also Zayn, who Real said deserves to battle one of the best in the world as a result for his hard work. So I guess that's where it came around from. They're basically giving Regal decided, you know what, I'm giving you a very high up, prestigious match with one of the best around. I mean, this brings us back to Tyler Breeze versus Jushin Thunder Liger, soon to be Hall of Famer in my opinion. I don't know. No, was he Hall of Famer last year, wasn't he? I can't remember. I think he might have been a Hall of Famer last year. So this guy's a Hall of Famer, and they brought him in for a couple of weeks to do a couple of programs, I think 1 or 2, and so this is the same sort of deal, but I think Shinsuke Nakamura obviously is signed a contract, so this is even better, honestly. So we're going to see Sami Zayn versus, I'm very excited for this one, even more than the last one. They've definitely done a good job with the card, building up and up to better and better matches. It's going to be one of my top 2 on this card probably, but Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn, obviously there's nothing really on the line here, and it's just a 1 count, it's just a 1 pin, win, normal match type stipulations. Yeah, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura. I think I really want to see Shinsuke Nakamura win, because honestly he can finish people off. His style, his way of wrestling, amazing and strong, and obviously incredibly physical. So yeah, I don't know if Sami Zayn's obviously coming off a lot of injuries, coming back in here. The reason I don't think he'll go up, I think the first program Shinsuke Nakamura needs to get his win. This is probably his first match in NXT, so obviously it's a very important ground, and important proving ground for him. For Sami Zayn to lose this match, it would make sense in my eyes. I think this could set him up for a bit more of emotional in another rematch, so I think that's a very good way to go around that. Putting Shinsuke Nakamura and then losing, I don't think Sami Zayn would want to get in another match where he could move up the card and get another chance at the NXT Championship, but that would also be a good launching point for that. But personally, I don't think they're going to go as far as doing that. I think, hey, we need to keep this rivalry on for a bit, so obviously this feud is going to continue for a while. In my opinion, it will be an ongoing thing, so we will see another match, a rematch. So Shinsuke Nakamura wins the first match. Very good guy. I've seen a little video package on NXT, I think this week or last week. Very fun to watch. Energetic, incredible, amazing. So I'm very excited to be watching the pay-per-view tonight or tomorrow night. Again, I don't know. It probably will end up being tomorrow night, and then my review will be up after that. So obviously, predictions, harder to do when you've only been watching for 2 weeks. Again, I have to state that loud and clear. I have only been watching... Guys, I've only been watching for freaking 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks, like a week now. So, since my last encounter with NXT. It's been months. So, yeah. His historic debut would be awesome if he gets that nice win in the bag early on and shocks the world. I don't think it'd be really, and the funny thing is, I don't even think he'll be shocking the world, will he? Because he's been competing on an NGPW stage, which probably has gotten more notoriety than even NXT. So I believe, you know what, he can bring straight over that power, passion, and then win this match and get that nice win in the bag. My third match on the card here, I think this is going in order. I'm not sure. But the third match I'm talking about, the NXT Tag Team Championship match. The Revival, the champions, Dash and Dawson, versus American Alpha, which is Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, I believe. So this match is a very exciting match. I mean, I'm excited about all the matches personally, but this one does spark a chord with me just because I really want a winner in this match, more than probably any other match. Well, including the main event. But here you go, I really, really want American Alpha to win this match so much. You know, you've heard me talk about them before. They're just this powerful, I would call them sort of Scott Steiner throwback tag team. They've been compared to a lot of the older amateur wrestlers from the past that used to compete in WWE. I don't know. Also, you know, could be a throwback to 70s wrestling, some aspects of that, but a very grappler style, offensive based mat wrestling. They bring a lot of aspects to it, but they definitely work well as the tag team. They're a tag team for me. They're the tag team for me. I mean, as opposed to any other tag team, you could put an Enzo Amore, Colin Cassidy. You could talk about the New Day, but these tag teams work so well as a tag team. I think that's the most important thing for a tag team that I think we're losing faith on. It's not about two people talking together. It's about the actual tag team work, and we're just losing faith about that. I mean, if you see a wrestler and he's not wrestling very good, then he shouldn't have the championship. If you see a tag team that's not working well together, then why should they have the tag team? It's the same thing. I just haven't seen anything in the Revival that really sparks my interest. I know they've only been in one match, and I haven't only seen American Alpha in one match. And comparing those two matches, I can definitely put up American Alpha and say that match was the superior match. So, honestly and truly, yeah, I'm gonna have to go and gun for my boys, for my boys, American Alpha. They need to win that championship. I have no idea how long the revival. I think it's been a month or something. I actually check because this could be, you know, important to decipher their logic on keeping the championship. But for me, it's quite a big stage. We're building up to WrestleMania. It's a good spot to change that championship. Will this mean like more championship changes later on? Nice. I believe they're not going to change all three, but they're also going to change one. So I think it could be either one or two. Most likely 2 championships will change hands, or 1. I'm not sure actually. Yeah, most likely 2. I'm kind of thinking of at the moment. But definitely, guys. I don't know how long the Revival have held the championship, as I previously stated. I'm gonna go onto the Wikipedia page just for a sec here. Yeah, the Revival have held the championship for 161 days. I didn't even realize they defeated the Vaudevillains last year on November 11th, so I definitely wasn't watching at that point. And so yeah, I guess the Vaudevillains had the championship for a good while. I didn't notice that, but anyways. Yeah, I think it's time for them to drop it. NXT are fond of their long championship reigns, but honestly this one could be quite short. This could lead to a program with the American Alpha taking on some other tag team, and maybe the Revival possibly building up to a main roster debut. I always said just I don't really care much for them, and I would kind of push them to go to the main roster. But honestly, they do need a bit more time actually on the NXT. So honestly, I'm kind of contradicting myself. Honestly, my wants for them not to have the championship, but also I have to think about it from the other angle that, yeah, hey, they are working on their game and their tag team, so I think they could definitely grow in me, and that's the sort of thing where, if I look at it honestly, guys, I just have a feeling this could be the Revival's night. Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. Honestly, though, I'm gonna go on the outer limb and say American Alpha will defeat the Revival. I know they've said it in promos before. If they fail, this could be the end. So they could be put a lot of things over us, but only after watching those 2 matches. I'm just gonna go based on what I've seen. So I'm gonna go with my gun, American Alpha. Yeah, American Alpha. Good for them. So yeah, that's my prediction there. Let's just comment on that. Yeah, and our NXT Women's Championship match. That one is exciting, and that's gonna have one of the biggest pops of the night because it's 2 very, very fan favorite wrestlers, Bayley and Asuka. Bayley being the women's champion, she's held the title for 222 days, 222, when she won last year in NXT Takeover Brooklyn on August 22nd. So she's held the title for a good length of time. She defeated Sasha Banks at NXT Takeover Brooklyn, and yeah, she is an absolute beast when it comes to that championship. Now, I've only seen Asuka wrestle once, and I know how badly she can beat people. She can do it pretty badly. Honestly, in this one, Bayley is obviously a great wrestler, and I think that she's one of the best wrestlers. But in this one, this is burning me up thinking about this. This is probably the hardest one to choose, really. I mean, these are two probably two of the similar skilled, you know, both of the very same no, I'm not saying that right, am I? Very good wrestlers, but they both kind of go toe to toe with each other, I would say. So, guys, I know this is a big pay-per-view for NXT Takeover, so a changing of the guard here, that would make sense. I mean, Bayley probably has been here for even as long as Sasha Banks, longer, or even. Guys, I just can't imagine them taking Bayley off of NXT anytime soon. I know they're gonna do it eventually, and I know they have to, but the crop of talent that they have at the moment in NXT in the women's division, I don't think currently sustains it. I know they're allowed to do the thing where you can go to NXT and if you want some time to time on the main roster, but the main roster program is also very booked up with the deals they have at the moment, the women. So moving Bayley up seems like a silly decision in my mind. They should not do that. And Asuka, although this being her probably first pay-per-view debut, I just doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't fit right with me that she would take the championship that early on. I mean, we're going to see Shinzei Nakamura hopefully get that win against Sami Zayn, but again, that would mean that we can't have, you know, two newcomers win, can we? No, the logic doesn't seem fit there. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with Bayley on that one. Yeah, Bayley, that's just the way it has to go, I think. And we're not going to see her move up anytime soon. Don't worry about that, guys. She's here for the long haul for at least another 6 months, in my opinion, with that women's championship. She may make appearances up in there, but again, she will continue to reign as that women's champion. She is a strong champion, and they can't risk changing that title unless they're going to keep doing a program, which they probably would. But in my opinion, just based on all of the logic I can fathom in the universe, they cannot change the championship. So yeah, guys, that's my little predictions there, and the NXT Championship match, the big one, the big dog at the end of the night, we're leading up to. It's Finn Balor, the NXT Champion, versus Samoa Joe. Now, guys, this one has been building for a long time in the making. We have had a big Iron Man match between Samoa Joe, I believe, and Sami Zayn for the number one contenders. Sami Zayn failed. Samoa Joe got to the position where he could take down a 282-pound submission specialist who would push Balor to the limit in London and will vie for the title again. So I guess he lost in London in a... Well, he defeated Zayn in a bitter 2 out of 3 falls, and now he's basically going on to compete with Finn Balor. This one, obviously, we're going to see Demon Balor come out. I think Demon Balor has had some sort of record at the old, you know what I'm saying, pay-per-views where he's as Demon, he hasn't lost. That would be really cool if they keep up that record. And now I'm saying that sounds really, you know, sounds really selfish. Sounds really superficial of me saying that I just want him to do it just for that reason, but it's not that reason at all. It's more than that. It's more on the line here. I mean, he's had so much with this title, and I think it means so much to be in his hands. They need to keep that solid championship with him. And actually could do something really cool, and it's one of those things where I think I won't actually be disappointed if he loses. I think he is so talented that he can recover exactly from that, and as the Demon form, he doesn't even need the championship, in my opinion. But in this context, just like that women's match, I'm not sure if we can redo it. This one, I would be a bit more favoured on either side. I wouldn't care like that much either way. It wouldn't be too pushed, you know what I'm saying? But Finn Balor versus, I think Samoa Joe could possibly take the title, and then Finn Balor could win it back and become the first ever 2-time NXT champion. If they're going to give a 2-time NXT championship to anyone, I think the good thing to do would be to take it off Balor and have another pay-per-view they could fight over, and then do another third one, so a third pay-per-view, so they could do a 3 pay-per-view rivalry over the next 9 months. I don't know how long each pay-per-view comes on. Is it every 3 months for NXT? Something like that. So they can do it for the next 2, we could say. So there could be a 3 thing, so it could be over the next 6 months, guys. And this could probably be building and building, and then finally Finn Balor wins it back on that third pay-per-view and retakes that title and claims himself the absolute victor in NXT, guys. That's crazy, but anyways, that's just a crazy dream of mine. Anyways, so Samoa Joe, in my opinion, is going to beat Finn Balor for that NXT Championship. But at the same time, that will probably mean that not all the championships will change hands. I'm kind of thinking about it, because on WrestleMania, a lot of championships do change hands. That's the thing. So if they're going to kind of try and mimic it, in my opinion, this could happen. It's a real thing in my mind. And yeah, just going through that little, thing in my mind, it would be cool if Finn Balor did that and then came back as a champion. But at the same time, it's like Finn Balor could bring this to a year as a champion. I kind of have discussed this in NXT, how I like that as well. I kind of need to make up my decision mind, don't I? So obviously, Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin, I go for Austin Aries. Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura, I go for Shinsuke Nakamura. The Revival versus American Alpha, I'm going for American Alpha. Bayley versus Asuka, I go for Bayley. This one, Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. I'm going out on a limb. I've just seen how dominant Samoa Joe can be, guys. For me, it all just fits in place. Unlike the last one where I was like, oh, I can't really do this. I believe it, guys. Samoa Joe is going to beat Finn Balor at Dallas. And I'm saying this as a proud Irishman and an Irishman, and Finn Balor being Irish himself and having that lineage and that heritage, I guess. Not lineage, heritage from Ireland, and having that Japan, and I've seen his documentary stuff, and I'm a big fan of his big person in PEW. Honestly, guys, Samoa Joe is going to get the absolute push of his life when he beats Finn Balor in this. I believe this match could go well over 25 minutes, guys. That's how confident I am in this one being a great encounter. And yeah, Finn Balor will lose that NXT Championship to Samoa Joe in a great encounter. Saying it doesn't sound right in my head, but I think that just could be just the nerves of just the uncomfortable feeling of Finn Balor even losing the championship, and the fact that he's had the championship for so long. I think that means so much. But it's not like having that championship more than being the longest reigning champion would be as groundbreaking as winning it, being the first 2-time NXT champion. That sounds great in my mind. Then just saying, oh yeah, I won the championship once and had a really long reign. It was pretty long, lasted for quite a while. But I would think that'd be cool to say I'm the first NXT 2-time champion. That even sounds more accomplished to my mind. Just saying that from a superficial standpoint, but also not from a superficial standpoint. Samoa Joe, build him up. Honestly, I think he's in here for the long haul. He's got many more years left in him. I know that he's been wrestling for 15 years, but say Finn Balor's been wrestling for 10 years, so there's not that big an age gap, I don't think, between the two men. Bringing this out into context. Anyways, this could bring, as I've kind of discussed that program there, that's how I think it's going to go down. Bayley with that championship, I believe she will defend that many more times. And Asuka, yeah, Asuka, I don't know. I think that the main roster is screaming for someone like Asuka. So I don't know if she will be here forever. So I think Samoa Joe's 37. Finn Balor is just a bit younger, yeah. He's about 35, I think. Crazy. No, he's 34. So there's 3 years in it. So yeah, it's not that big a deal, isn't it? That just Samoa Joe would do something like that. I just can picture that in my mind. So yeah, that's a crazy prediction there. Obviously the last one, the main event, being the kind of the toughest to predict, but the other ones, once again, are very exciting and should definitely change. So there you go. There are all my predictions. Next time we go out for my review, seeing how many I got right out of 6, showing my percentage there. I'll just calculate a little thing there as well, and just to see how well I did, because it's gonna be an exciting one. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment below, favourite, share for more. And I will see you in the next episode where I do my review of NXT Takeover Dallas. I know this has been a pretty long predictions video, but again, thank you guys for watching and for all the support. I will see you in the next one. Also, make sure to comment down in the comments below your predictions for tonight and everything you want to talk about. See you all next time.